Hey everybody, this is Tony, Tainted Lord A7, and I just thought of a random stupid idea for a video. And this stupid idea is pick out 10 albums, 10 meta albums for a badass action film. Because I feel like action films need a more intense soundtrack to complement the high intensity that's being shown on film. And I think some badass meta albums would fit the bill. So I decided to choose 10 meta albums that would fit in as background music for a badass action film. A really silly idea, but I don't know. Maybe someone will find this fun and interesting. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. The first one would be Jungle Art, Terror Regime. Yeah, Terror Regime by Jungle Art. Sometimes you just need some fast, blazing, in your face death metal to complement the action scenes in a movie. And I think Jungle Art's Terror Regime will fit that bill. So the first one is Jungle Art, Terror Regime. My second pick will be Overkill's Killbox 13. If you want some groovy thrash for your badass action film, I'd say Overkill's Killbox 13 will fit the bill for something that's fast, intense, and energetic. So, yeah, Overkill's Killbox 13 is my second pick. My third pick will be Pantera's Far Beyond Driven. In an action film, you just need some edgy grits and some badassity and some badass bad boy attitude. And I think Pantera's Far Beyond Driven will fit the bill for a badass action film where the protagonist or antagonist gets to demonstrate how much of a badass he or she is. So yeah, Pantera's Far Beyond Driven. My fourth pick would be the Monaco. Yeah, the Monaco Death Inferno. Sometimes you need that Ancient 2 death metal sound to complement the chaos and catastrophe and destruction in everything you see in a badass action film. And I think the Monaco's Death Inferno will totally fit the bill to create that destructive, intense action scene in a movie. So, yeah, the Monaco's Death Inferno. Next up is Sepultura's Beneath the Remains. Again, just that fast, intense, heavy, aggressive attitude is needed for a badass action movie. And I think Sepultura's Beneath the Remains will totally fit that bill. You know, you just need something fast, aggressive, and thrashy as all hell. And a badass action movie may need Sepultura's Beneath the Remains to do that. So there you go. Next up is Kalmar in the album Swamp Song. Again, sometimes you need some badass Finnish melodic death metal to um, help portray that fast, intense, aggressive feeling when you watch a badass action films. And I think Kalmar's Swamp Song will fit the bill. So yeah, Kalmar's Swamp Song. Next up is Anel Nathwak in the album The Whole of the Law. Um, if you want to, if you want to see a badass action film that has everything going to hell, like the whole scene and world is just going through the apocalypse in a badass action film, I think Anand Nathwak's The Whole of the Law will help generate that feeling of catastrophe and destruction and apocalyptic feeling when you see a badass action film portraying the apocalypse where everything is being destroyed. And this album would probably do the trick. So yeah, Anand Nathwak, The Whole of the Law. Next up is Testament, Titans of Creation. Just a modern day thrash metal album that's perfect for a badass action film, especially when it has some good fight scenes and a whole bunch of explosions. So yeah, I think Testament's Titans of Creation will be perfect for that. So there you go. The next one would have to be Rob Zombie's Hellbilly Deluxe. If you want to see a badass action film that has a whole theme to it, I think Rob Zombie's Hellbilly Deluxe will fit the bill. It could be horrific, fun, and action packed, and I think Rob Zombie's Hellbilly Deluxe will fit the bill. So, yep, Rob Zombie's Hellbilly Deluxe. And the last album that I'm going to choose for a badass action film would have to be Arch Enemy's Wages of Sin. I think this album would be perfect doing a final confrontation with the main villain in a badass action film. And I think Arch Enemy's Wages of Sin will totally um have that feeling of a endgame battle doing a badass action film. And I think Arch Enemy's Wages of Sin would do just that. Just a perfect soundtrack for that final scene in a badass action film. So that's it. Those are 10 albums that I chose that would be perfect background music for a badass action film. I have no idea if any of these albums will even be played during a badass action film, but I sometimes wish that would certainly happen, but I really doubt it. But in my mind, more action films needs those kind of albums to make the scenes pop out and be more intense. And that's pretty much it. That's my silly little random video about a topic that I just thought of on the fly. And hopefully everyone enjoys this kind of silliness. And let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching.